and happy Easter. Welcome to Leesburg Presbyterian Church Godly Play. Thank you for continuing worship with us. Our Christ candle's lit, so we'll start with our song. Father, I adore you, lay my life before you. How I love you, Jesus, I adore you. Lay my life before you. How I love you, Spirit, I adore you. Lay my life before you. How I love you. Today we complete the Faces of Easter. At the beginning, Jesus was born to Mother Mary and Father Joseph, and they kept him warm and safe. And there we have our baby from our classroom. Then Jesus went into the temple and was lost. And his mom and dad found him in the temple, and he said, "Didn't you know I would be in my Father's house?" And there are parts of the temple. After that, Jesus went to the river and was baptized by his cousin John. And we have some water. Jesus went into the desert for 40 days and 40 nights to find out what his work was going to be. We have the rock that the voice said, "Can't you just turn the stones into bread?" And he said, "No." When he came out of the desert, he was doing his work, and he went so close to this blind man that he was touching his eyes, and then the blind man could see. He taught in parables, and so I have our story, Parables and Parables. He came into the town riding a donkey, and the donkey wasn't even his. It was borrowed. And then he asked about the rich man and the old woman and who gave the most. At that point, the temple guard said, "On Thursday we will take him." But on Thursday, they could not find him. They had climbed up the stairs to the upper room and shared their last supper together. After they had everything they wanted to eat, Jesus took some bread and gave thanks to God for it. And then he broke it and said something like, "Whenever you break bread like this and share it, I will be there." He took a cup of wine, gave thanks to God for it, and said, "Whenever you share a cup of wine like this, I will be there." He was always saying things like that. How could they know? Still, they did not forget, and later they would understand. Suddenly, Judas got up and left. The rest sang a hymn and went to the garden on the Mount of Olives. Jesus wanted to pray. When he finished, he joined the 12, but Judas came out of the dark and greeted him. This was a signal for the temple guards to take him. They too came out of the shadows and took Jesus away with them into the night. The 12 disappeared into the darkness as well. I put the one coin that I found in the classroom today to remind me of this part of our story. That night was a confusing one. The next day, Jesus was taken outside the walls of the city and crucified. That afternoon, Jesus died. The sky grew dark. Jesus was taken down from the cross and buried in a cave. A great stone was rolled into the opening of the cave to close it like a door. Saturday was so quiet you could almost hear the earth breathing. On Sunday, it was the women who had the courage to go to the tomb just to be close to Jesus. They wanted to remember, even if it was sad. When they came to the tomb, they found that the stone had been rolled back and the tomb was empty. Jesus had died on the cross, but somehow he was still with them, as he is with us, especially in our bread and wine. When you look at this side, it is the crucifixion. On this side, it's Easter. To have Easter, you have to have the crucifixion. To have the crucifixion, you have Easter. And so, the colors have changed. But wait a minute. If it has another side, this can't be the end of the story. And right now there's a beginning, a middle, and an end. But the end has two sides. The ending is also the beginning. So we can't leave it in a line. Let's do this. Now the story can go on forever. I wonder what part of the story you like best. I wonder what part of the story is the most important part. I wonder where you are in the story. What part of the story is about you? I wonder if there's any part of the story we can leave out and still have all the story we need. So as you go on with your families to have a happy Easter day, let's finish with the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not to temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen.